Alabama native Condoleezza Rice drops bombshell on voters hours before Roy Moore election. Hours before the people of Alabama headed to the polls to cast their vote in the pivotal Senate race between Democrat Doug Jones and Republican Roy Moore, former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice dropped a bombshell. An Alabama native, Rice's words contained a prudent message for all Americans at this moment in time. Moore and Jones are running to replace Attorney General Jeff Sessions' seat in the Senate. Their race has been highly publicized, thanks to unsubstantiated accusations from several women who have come forward to accuse Moore of sexual misconduct which allegedly took place decades ago. Alabama voters went to the polls Tuesday for a pivotal special election in which allegations of inappropriate behavior against Republican candidate Roy Moore have created a rare opportunity for Democrats in the typically ruby-red Deep South. The closely watched race between Moore and Democrat Doug Jones is expected to set the stage for the 2018 midterm elections by testing the influence of President Trump and his allies, including former White House chief strategist Stephen K. Bannon. Democrats are hoping to capitalize politically on allegations of sexual misconduct against Trump and other members of the GOP. A win by Jones would help bolster their chances of regaining control of the Senate after next year's contests. Source: The Washington Post. In a statement hours before Tuesday's election, Rice did not say which candidate she would be voting for, but rather, implored the people of Alabama to cast their own votes for the man whom they feel best upholds their core values. This week's special election will be one of the most significant in Alabama's history. As a native daughter, I remain, at heart, an Alabaman who loves our state and its devotion to faith, family, and country, Rice stated. I encourage you to take a stand for our core principles and for what is right. These critical times require us to come together to reject bigotry, sexism, and intolerance. It is imperative for Americans to remain focused on our priorities and not give way to sideshows and antics, she added. I know that Alabamans need an independent voice in Washington. But we must also insist that our representatives are dignified, decent, and respectful of the values we hold dear, she continued. Please exercise your right to vote, a privilege won by the sacrifices of our ancestors. Sustain the central ideals and values that make our country a beacon for freedom and justice for the sake of Alabama and for the good of the United States of America, Rice concluded, according to AL.com. Rice's statement comes at the end of a campaign as voters took to the polls Monday evening and the election will be decided Tuesday. President Trump encouraged voters to vote for Moore just across the Alabama border in Florida. A Fox News poll has Moore's Democratic challenger Doug Jones above the Republican by 10 points, but this is an outlier. Other polls show the election to be much closer, with many having Moore a few points above the Democrat. Source: The Blaze. While Rice declined to state who she would be voting for today, her sentiments surrounding the right to vote are spot on. It is our duty as American citizens to stay as informed as possible when it comes to the beliefs and backgrounds of our elected officials so that we might make an educated decision when it comes to casting our respective votes. The result of the Senate race in Alabama will be hugely significant, especially when it comes to determining what the GOP can expect in 2018. Pray that the people of Alabama make the right decision today.